guts out the last time, and we thought that we might give you a spot of good news and share something that happened to us today. Um, our son graduated from high school today. The one that just turned 18 that we were telling you when we were freaking out on his birthday. I'm going to set off the neighbor's dogs here. But our son, my son, graduated high school today. And it's such a weird thing because if there's one thing that we've observed over the course of time is time. And this probably has something to do with DID in and of itself, but there are moments in your life when all of a sudden you get a glimpse of your own mortality, or the awareness that what we live in is indeed an illusion, and that time is what we make of it. It's both fixed and subjective. Yeah, we're going off the deep end here, but don't worry, we'll eventually have a point, we hope. But we can remember our graduation, or rather, what would have been our graduation, because we didn't actually graduate. Um, we dropped out. Our mother encouraged us to drop out. There's details to it. But the long and the short of it is that she gave us an easy way out, and we took it. Now, admittedly, we had already enrolled in college 3 days before we dropped out, so there was that. But we never walked the aisle. We never did that. We watched as our girlfriend did, so we were actually there at the ceremony, but we never walked it. And thinking back to the person that we were slash are then, because hey, alters. Um, if we had told them now what we were feeling, that we were sitting here, uh, kind of geeking out over the fact that our son just graduated from high school, it never would have believed it. Never would have believed it. But so, what's the point, Infinity System? What the hell are you trying to say? Many things. And maybe this is selfish, but damn it, our son just graduated from high school, by God. And he did it without a father that abused him physically or mentally or inflicted the kinds of things on him that we had to live with. And normally we have a real problem taking credit for ourselves, but by God, we're going to be selfish and take credit for this one this time. We did something right. Because there's a young man sitting in there who walked down that aisle tonight, and who we are so proud of. Because he busted his ass. He busted his ass to get it. And so we were thinking, we've done better. Because they told us, you'll never make anything of yourself. You'll never, you're never going to succeed. You're not worth anything. Yeah, well, guess what? Fuck y'all. Sorry, audience, but that's to our abusers. Guess what? We were better than you were. And we're going to take selfish pride in that. So, is this what pride feels like? Because we honestly, yeah. Here we are, a dad. 18-year-old son just graduated. And looking back, it's like, how many of us were really involved? And the more we think about it, the more we realize that we all were, to one degree or another. And that makes us feel good as well. Because even before we knew what we were, we'd been working together to make sure that what happened to us would never happen to our children. And it didn't. It didn't. Even though we didn't know what we were, why we were the way that we are, we still managed to somehow rise above that. And it was hard. Parenting is not easy. No. But it is one of the most rewarding experiences. The sad thing is that his mother is not here to see it. She died. The We remarried, so um, second wife. The son considers her, mom, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle to make that change, to make that adaptation, because it was not very long after our first wife died that we got lucky and remarried. Sorry for the noise outside. Um, Wife asleep. And also we're fighting a cold, so excuse us. We're kind of still stuffed up. That's why we haven't had anything out this week yet, was because we got hit by this nasty cold or whatever it was, and we can't really film unless you guys can understand us. So, oh, and this is not the episode that we posted about on the community. This was just us wanting to share this moment with somebody. And you guys are always saying that, you were an example of how a system copes and whatnot. And we want to show you that. I mean, but please don't put us up on a pedestal, for God's sakes. Okay, we are still up. Okay. We're still new to this whole game. Just because we've gotten this far doesn't mean that we've got our shit together. Only on some levels. So please don't idolize us. But we wanted to share this with you because we were sitting here thinking about it, and we're like, oh God, we'll have to drag out the camera and everything else. And Percival's all, well, it's like they should share the experience. And Rosemary's like, well, why don't you talk to him about it, child? And, so it's like the next thing we know, we're going and getting the phone and the light and everything. And here we are doing our first live stream from our phone. So, I mean, we're seeing a couple comments come up here, but first time we've done it. So, yeah, I'm not even sure how I'd look at the comments. I see them go up, but we're talking, so we'll have to review them later. Naomi, I know that you're there because we saw your name. But that's really just it. The wife's asleep, they're toning down for the night. And we were just sitting by ourselves, taking a few moments. Okay, there, what just popped up. No need to apologize. It's okay. Lisa Brower, hi. Hey, Lisa, we have not been ignoring your question about time-locked altars. We are going to do a viewer Q&A in depth, like the one that we did before, on your question in particular. But we need to track down some of the research that supports the question that you're asking, because we don't want to half-cocked, because it's kind of a complicated thing, which we won't get into now. But the reason we haven't responded to your comment is because we're going to on a video, okay? Not this weekend, but next week probably. So stay tuned. Good question. We just had to save it, okay? So we haven't been ignoring you, we swear. But wow, we got people in here. So yeah, she says, Bug Bean, hello. You retracted your message, damn it. I hate it when you do that. But I understand. There we go. Hi, Bug Bean. Oh, that's great. For those guys who just checked in, we just started streaming because our son, our 18-year-old son, just graduated from high school today. And that's a thing, and we were sitting here thinking, you know what, I'm going to take these off so you're not catching glare in your eyes. um, but we were sitting here wondering how we would feel about it, and we were just ruminating it over and feeling pride for the first time, you know, in something that we did, because trauma victims are often have a big problem with taking credit for just about anything because we're taught not to. Naomi, thank you, Lisa. Okay, now I'm close enough to where I can actually see the comments. Um, and we wanted to share it with you. Hannah Banana, hello. Thank you, Hannah. This is really kind of, for those of you who haven't been on one of our streams before, this is actually kind of really atypical for us. This is just Juxta. Hey. Yeah, oh, yeah. Very weird. His class has been through it this year, I'll tell you. Um, yeah, yes. Oh, okay. Sorry. I hope you didn't lose you guys. Yeah, go away. Little notifications. There we are. Hello, Cotton Candy. Yes, we are very proud. Which is a new thing for us. I mean, it's like not that we're not proud of our son or anything, but it's a. There goes the trash can. It's a pride in ourselves. So sorry for the little lapse there. Our medication reminder popped up to remind us to take our meds, but we're able to snooze it, and we can get away with an hour, which should be safe. Not that we're planning on sitting here for an hour, but at the rate we rambled, who knows? But we were giving ourselves credit for anything is very hard. Uh, it's very hard because they beat you down. And self-esteem is not a thing. And that's been something that we've struggled with our entire life. And for a change, we decided to, that it's okay that we can actually feel pride in ourselves. The neighbor's dog. And that we deserved to feel pride in ourselves for that. And to be honest, you guys were the first people that we thought to share this with, because this is part of what it's like to deal with trauma and DID. Thank you, Naomi. And of course the internal debate starts. It's like, oh, this isn't important enough. We'd have to drag out the camera and everything, and we'll have to record the episode and then upload it and blah 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 blah. And then I was like, somebody thought, oh, well, we've never tried live streaming directly from our phone. We do it with this computer patch in. And we're like, and the next thing we know, we're in the bedroom getting our ring light and tripod, to come out here to talk with you guys. So that's pretty much it. Bugbean, great that you can actually feel proud. That's so amazing. Yeah, I know it's weird that it's a big thing, but it also just goes to show you. You deserve, Hannah Banana, you deserve to feel pride in yourselves. We're very proud of you as well for taking the step towards feeling things like pride and accepting those feelings. Boy, you got to read fast before the message fades. Yeah, med alert, neighbor's dog laughing hard, totally like when I try to film. Yeah, I mean, we had rain here a little bit earlier, so the wind gets a little crazy. But still, again, excuse us, we're a little stuffed up from the cold. Sniff, sniff. But yeah, really wild feeling. And, just other than wishing that our first wife was here to see him, to see him walk down that aisle. And who knows, maybe she was, even if just in some form or another. Let's not get off into that tonight, That's for like 4:30 in the morning conversations when we're dealing with philosophy and theology and things like that. And that would get data going and we would be here forever. So anyway, and for those of you who just kind of came in, this is not the episode that we were talking about in our community post. So as cliche as it may sound, remember that you are valid. Strong, you deserve to respect. Thank you. Thank you, Naomi. And thank you guys for reminding of us of our own words. And I don't want to say using them against us, but yeah, do that. Kick us in the ass from time to time and remind us of the very same stuff that we espouse, you know. So you guys are our checks, okay? So giving you the duties. Okay, how do I? Damn it, you guys are asking questions and the chat thing keeps fading, and I'm not sure how to get it back. Top chat, so much live chat. All messages. Okay, me. Yeah, welcome to live chat. I don't need that. What I need is for it to stay YouTube. Aha. Sorry, Gen X figuring out the tech. Okay, Lisa, is he the first to graduate? The first of our kids. When we remarried, our son and daughter, our wife also had a son and daughter. So we made a mixed family, and that had its own set of challenges, even without the DID coming in 3 years ago. So I guess there's more to feel good about. We managed to integrate two families together after a trauma that made us go over the edge and made all the trauma come out and surprise your system. Um, but that's another thing I guess that we can take credit for. Um, wow, this has been a positive night. Um, but yeah, okay, let's check things. Let's see. Having you here forever would be great. Thank you, Bugbean. I'm not sure everyone would agree with you, but yeah. Juxta, we teach what we most need to learn. Yeah. Question is, do we do that subconsciously or consciously or both? Food for thought. Um, over the course of our lives, and this is part of being a parent, and I know that this is going to sound a little weird, but data has been running a long-term behavioral experiment, if you will, to prove whether or not nurture or nature is more prevalent and which behaviors come from where. And the results have been quite interesting. Mostly nurture, but there is definitely some stuff that it's nature as well. But watching them grow up from the multiple perspectives has been very interesting over long term. I mean, I was sitting there in the bleachers, or we were sitting there in the bleachers tonight, thinking, as he's walking across the stage, here is this being that 18 years ago we held in our two hands. He was no bigger than this. He was premature by a month. They had to take him out early because my wife was a high risk pregnancy and had severe health problems. So yes, nurture is more powerful in your experience. Yes, absolutely. Um, 4 out of 5 parents say so. So yeah. Damn, we lost our train of thought. Oh well. Sometimes the encouraging and loving things that we tell each other people are the things, dang it, are the things that we need to hear ourselves, the things that we forget to tell ourselves. Yeah, truth there. Um, because that was one of the things that we tried so hard not to replicate was we knew that we had been emotionally abused. It was obvious. We didn't understand just what the depth of our abuse had ran to. Not then, and it's still we're still uncovering layers. It's anyway. Happy stuff, not trauma stuff tonight. Yeah. So yeah. Watching them both grow up has been so wild. It was very hard when our first wife died because they were about 6 and 7. They were 6 and 7 years old when she passed away. Um, and watching them grow from these helpless little bundles of poop and food and okay, babies do smell good. For a little while, they've got that fresh new baby smell. Any parent, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, unfortunately, it fades away real fast. Yeah. Unfortunately, Lisa, they were, and it was very hard on them both, particularly on my son, which is another reason why I wish and I do hope that in whatever form she may be somewhere that she was watching tonight and cheering. because she should have been. We were talking to her a little earlier. Yes, it's true that, guys do talk to their dead wives. It's just a thing. So happy stuff is good, but talking only for myself. Talk about whatever you feel like. Thank you, guys. What, you think that we didn't punch you in the gut enough with our last episode? um, excuse us. And on that, we know that was hard, and we know that was heavy to watch. It was heavy for us to do. Jenny and Jane was the first trauma. Well, actually, the second major trauma that Christopher recovered. We alluded to the first have over stupid dog over several different episodes, but Jenny and the Jane was the first of his, and yeah, Dad passed away when I was 13. I talked to him very often. Yeah. We do the same. There's not a day that goes by that we don't think about her in some way, shape, or form. Some people leave a huge hole in your life when they go. Sorry. Got a little maudlin there for a second. But yeah, Jenny and Jane was the first of his traumas that we recovered, and that was 2.5 years ago. It took us that long to process those events. And it took Christopher that long to process that, and us that long before we could even begin to sit down and share it with you. And so we want to thank you for watching through it and remembering Jenny and Jane and helping to make them immortal, to remember them so that they mattered. Because we watched them snuffed out right in front of us. And they weren't the last ones either. But TMI, sorry, but so thank you guys deeply from the heart. We know that was tough. We don't trigger warning our stuff lightly. So we appreciate it. So thank you. Wow, we've ranged all over the place, haven't we? This has turned into a full-fledged live stream. Unfortunately, the sound probably sucks because of the, wind and everything. But yeah, it's a beautiful and poignant story. Won't forget. Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's a story, and that was the only way that we could tell it. That was the only way that we could tell that story and share it with you guys. Aha, at last, you guys are about to get a cat bomb. Come here. Come here, Cho-Cho-Cho. Oh, come on. Look, there's like 12 people who want to see you. Come here. Come here. Oh, this will just take a second. Yeah, there's my Cho-Cho. Ah. Meet Cho-Cho, or Cheddar. And he said, let me go. It's alright, we'll go in a little bit. We're here for you, we'll oops, okay. Sorry. Sound is okay, just occasional wind burst. Yeah, that's nothing I can do. Cat bombs are cool, yep. Yes, Ginger Kitty. Brothers, Colby and Cheddar. After the cheese, yes. But yeah, seeing him walk down that stage tonight, it was like, we did good. We've done good. And it's okay to feel that way. Cat, what an explicit bus. Hello, Stack. I don't believe I've seen you before. I need to scroll back and see who all has been here. Hang on just a second, guys. I'm sorry. We've been so busy going on That they are so wrong. Okay, let's see. Lisa, Naomi, Bugbean, Hannah, we already got you. Juxta, Cotton Candy, yep. Naomi, Lisa, Bugbean, Juxta. Valerie Lynn. Aha, I knew there was another one that we had seen in there. I don't think, or rather, we don't think that we've seen you on the streams or around the channel before. If we, maybe in a comment. I'm sorry, Data keeps track of this stuff and he's off doing stuff for the upcoming episode. It's tough to explain it. But hello, if we haven't said hello to you before, you know, DID memory being hello now. And thank you. There we go. Let's see. And the other person, which was Stack. Yes, Stack. Hello. We know we haven't seen you before, so welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome for a very atypical live stream for us. It's totally spur of the moment. Those names are cute. They will live on in so many memories now because you have been brave enough to share their story. Been subscribed for a while. Keep missing the live stream. Sorry about that. Rice, hey. Sorry, Howdy, we're here too, but a bit inebriated, so we aren't talking much. That's okay. Let's see. Yes, Valerie, she says that you're fairly new. Well, like I said, welcome. All right, so, yeah, Valerie, and that was the real heartbreak about it. Because, well, you guys are getting much more than you bargained for tonight, huh? The night after the therapy session where we had that flashback and that memory recovery, it broke us. It broke us. If there was a moment in our lives that came close to permanently shattering us, that was it. And we were just out. We were out on the porch. Actually, this is apropos for tonight. Thank you, whoever made us start telling this inside. We were out there on the porch, and it was just overwhelming. We could not get and just to let you know, we left details out. That was one of the reasons why we told it in the way that we did. One, because it was the only way that we could do it. Two, because it was a memorial service of sorts, both for them and for us. And because it was the only way that we could tell the story without going into too much detail. You can say more with less words sometimes than you can with all the excruciating details in the world. But after the therapy session, when Christopher had re-experienced that, and we had re-experienced it, although at that point we hadn't learned to co-con with him yet. He was still taking over. We spent 2.5 days as him after that session, actually. So yeah, you guys want to hear about a switch? Okay, here we go. Real DID. The night after we remembered that, we were sitting on the porch and we were shattered. Our mind was in 1,000 pieces because it kept replaying over and over again. Jane hitting the wall and sliding down, and Jenny screaming, and just everything else that went on. And what happened after. And we're sitting there on the porch trying to stabilize ourselves desperately, and we're having a split where there was the core, me, and Rosemary trying to comfort us, and Christopher, who was just freaking out, and we were caught in the loop with the flashback and desperately trying to cling to this reality. We didn't have a lot of the tools then that we do now, that we've learned over the course of time. Like I said, this was 2.5 years ago. So we were sitting there, and tears were streaming down our face, and we were just literally I don't know if you've ever heard anyone who is in extreme duress or pain or just unbelievable agony cry. There's a special type of crying, and it's the crying that comes from a person whose soul has shattered into 1,000 pieces. And we cried like that on the night that our wife died. Um, we lost time on that one big time. And we were crying like that on the porch again when who should come out? Our son, the one that just graduated tonight, came out to check on us, and he sat down next to us. And he put his arms around us, and he said, "It'll be okay, Dad." And that tells you the type of young man that he is. Wow, that was heavy, huh? So, yeah, he's a remarkable young man. A remarkable young man. And we're very lucky to have him. And it's been a struggle for him as well because he's high functioning autistic. So he has just busted his butt. Busted his butt. So proud of him. Oh, hang on, cat. No, we'll go in a minute. He wants to go back in. He can wait. After how much we wait on him, it's like our lives are run around cat schedule. Yes, in a little bit. Excuse us again for those of you who weren't here earlier. We're getting over a cold, so excuse us if we're stuffed up. But yeah, I tell you all about our daughter too. I mean, there's all we're strictly speaking to our kids from our first marriage, but the wife's kids from the second marriage, they're all awesome as well. Growing up now, they're now full adults. Yeah, ours were the two youngest. But in another 2 years, I'll be here bragging on my daughter, who is amazing. She is so much like her mother, and our first wife was one of those people that liked everybody. I'm just, if she could make friends, drop of a hat. Uh, Literally like the odd couple, Oscar and Felix. I mean, she was the bright sunshine to our dark cynicism. God, we miss her. She was one of those true. It's they say that the flames that burn twice as bright burn half as long. She was one of those people, and she had. If there was a medical bad luck card, she drew everyone in the deck. She went through so much, and she did it without crying or even getting angry. We only saw her get angry once. And she's like, "Oh, I shouldn't be this way." And we're like, "Honey, you are entitled. Rage it out." Uh, but yeah, she was amazing. And our daughter is just, I don't want to say a chip off the old block, but she's very much the same way. Very much the same way. We could not be prouder. She's an extremely intelligent, compassionate individual and free thinker. Some people think outside of the box. Okay, we're not even sure that the box exists for her. She's just like that. So yeah, 2 years I'll be back here bragging on. We'll be back here bragging on her. So yeah, I suppose I should probably look at some of your comments here. Sorry, we've been blathering. This is what dissociation looks like, and kind of a free for all going on here. So let me go back here and meet the people that I haven't said. Rice, we already said hey to you. Okay, hi, Christina. Hi. it's just random. Our son graduated from high school tonight, and we were just kind of sharing with you guys how we felt about that and some of the thoughts and the emotions and stuff from the past that it stirred up, and to share it with you guys because this is all part of being a system and being parents and living with it. So we thought maybe, hey, you guys would like to know. And plus, dang it, we wanted to share it with somebody and everybody else is asleep. It's like, wife has to get up early. So, it's like, oh, okay, looks like, yeah, I should have scrolled down here. Juxta already filled her in. Let's see, Christina. Okay, catching up a little bit. Naomi's video, which so emotionally charged, made me angry at your abusers. Even though I don't know them, I hope it makes sense. Oh, no, it makes sense. And also so sad for the kids. And and the thought that even now there is a child somewhere who is being abused and exploited makes us incredibly angry. Yeah, we're going to get off on that topic, but yeah, thank you, Naomi. Yes. Jocelyn Warnell, hello, welcome. We haven't seen you before, so welcome to the channel. If you're a long-time lurker, welcome. We're glad you popped out to say hi. Normally we don't stream at this time of the night, but hey, we were up and there was no way we were going to be sleeping anytime soon. We're inveterate insomniacs. Congrats, it's a great thing to see your kid walk. It was a wonderful thing to see my daughter do it after her struggles to do so. Then yeah, you know how it is. And congrats to her and to you. Well done. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Bugbean, did telling the story help you all coming closer together as a system? I still can't talk about anything, not a single word. That's a good question. And we'll just give it to you straight up. Yes, it did, but not the way that you're thinking. Sorry, again, forgive us. It's so disgusting. But yeah, it did. This may seem a little bit weird and kind of vain, but we actually rewatch our own content because some of it is so complex, and all of us are working on different aspects of it that we have to rewatch it multiple times for each person who's interested in watching it. And there are some, like the more emotionally charged episodes, where we're dealing with the actual stuff. Like, for example, Boys Cry 2. That was very, we knew it was gut punchy, but it's supposed to be. We can't minimize these things. It doesn't mean that we have to, exploit it, but we need to tell the truth, and we need to be open about what mental illness looks like and what this looks like and what trauma looks like. But it can be done in a tasteful manner rather than an exploitive one like other creators choose to take. So hopefully you guys agree. If not, well, there's lots of channels out there, but we appreciate your being here. Not trying to be snotty or anything, just trying to explain where we come from. So we rewatched that probably 20 or 30 times. And each time that we did, it helped one or the other of us or all of us to process that experience and the survivor's guilt that comes from it. And not only that, but from other incidences. Yeah, we got a lot of survivor's guilt. A lot of survivor's guilt. So yeah, it did help. Unfortunately, it doesn't help Christopher. And this again, this is a prime example of what alters are and the way that they are. And Lisa, this is actually getting somewhat into your question here, so we're going to skirt the territory. Because alters are time locked. They are you encoded on your brain at that particular point in time biochemically. And we actually, here's a preview hint for the episode this weekend, which this is not. We are actually going to be going into that exact process of the trauma being imprinted on the brain and what causes an alter, and some fascinating MRI studies that have been done recently. We're going to be covering those, the current studies, and what they have shown as far as where trauma hits the brain. They've identified the areas and the mechanisms, so there is scientific backing for DID and dissociative conditions as, real. It's a biochemical imprint. Um, but unfortunately, it doesn't help Christopher because even though he saw it right in front of his eyes, our eyes, he's still locked in that moment, and he does not realize that they're dead. Or, well, you guys have figured that out by now. Airplane going over as if there's not enough noise. Yeah, so there's another little tidbit for any trolls or anything that might be trying to pinpoint our existence. Dox us or whatnot. It's like, knock yourself out, or careful. And we've been on the internet for a very, very long time, and we know how to cover our tracks quite nicely. Thank you very much. So, don't waste your time. But yeah, it took us a while to process that. We've even tried to have memorial services. Our therapist suggested an internal memorial service for them, for Christopher, and it just doesn't get through. The first, we're not trying to break your guys' heart or anything, with going into this, but the first thing that he does when he fronts and he sees, our wife or our daughter, generally it's our wife because he stays in our room. He stays in the safe space where we film, on the round rug. That is his safe environment. Not to be confused with the safe spot, which is in the closet where he goes to put our back up against the wall when we're feeling, well, yeah. But the first thing that he will do is he'll ask, "Where's Jenny? Where's Jane?" And every time my wife has to patiently explain to him that they're not here, honey. Where are they? I'm not sure, honey, but they're not here tonight. So it sets up such a quandary. I mean, you're talking about yourself. You're talking about yourself at that particular point in time, with that particular perspective and that particular set of memories, and they're there and they're fixed and they're set. So it's like, how is it possible for your younger self to rip your heart out? I mean, it's just the anguish of the child is heartbreaking. I mean, is it possible to have your heart break for yourself? These were the thoughts that were running through our head as our son came out to help us that night, and that have run through our brain since then. But we have tried. We've tried with Christopher. Oops, no wonder they're not showing up. We forgot to scroll down. Okay, so yeah, that was a very long-winded, windy thing, an answer to you, Bug Bean, about whether or not telling the story brought us closer as a system. So yes, for the AMPs and the adult parts and the tween alters, yes, it did. But unfortunately not for Christopher because he's time locked. So we learned to work around it. But every time he fronts and we come back, because we'll leave him snacks and stuff. Every time that we come back from when he fronts, there's always the two little bits, the two little portions that he sets aside for them without fail. And it's... Anyway, let's move on to the comments here. Sounds like Justice says, sounds like you raised a great young man. I feel pride for you both. Thank you. Valerie, have such a beautiful family. Thank you. Yeah, we are a family like any other. We have our ups and downs, and dealing with this has not been easy. There's been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that you guys don't know about. That if that we may talk about at some point in time because it is pertinent, but we're still in it and kind of repairing some damage that was done. We're not going to get into it, but suffice it to say that family life with DID is not all sunshine and roses, okay? Don't fool yourself. Okay, so Bugbean says you have so many more reasons besides the graduation to be proud of him and you as his dad. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. Stack is another system who is a bit further along in the recovery and is diving deep into trauma work. I want to say that your openness and honesty gives me a lot of hope and reminds me that I'm truly not alone. Good, because that is the exact focus and reason why we started the channel. Because if we don't get real with it and show what it's really like, not just us, but all of you, start a channel. Start a channel, okay? Get your voice out there because everybody's perspective is unique, and yours is just as valid as ours. Okay, seriously, this is something that we have always encouraged you guys to do, and we're doing it now. And also, while we're thinking of it, I need all of you, or we need all of you, or we're asking you very politely to do us a favor. We want you to go over to a channel called 5 Pieces of 9. 5 Pieces of 9. Just please go over to that channel and subscribe. 5 Pieces is one of the systems that we met early on in our channel, is one of our early subscribers, and they're fighting some heavy stuff too. We're not, outing them or you because I know eventually you'll watch this, Cloud. We're just saying you deserve the recognition because they were one of the first that we encouraged, to get out there and find their voice. And they were like, oh, well, our style is so different and we're just afraid to get it out there. And we're like, do it. And since then, their channel has grown and their viewers are really keying into the way that they're, presenting their experience, and their videos are compelling. They're doing nitty-gritty, real stuff as well. In another way, but just as real. So if everyone could please go over to 5 Pieces of 9 and subscribe, or at least watch some videos and click them a like, we'd greatly appreciate it because they deserve the support. Okay? Thank you. So let's go back to the things here. So let's see. Yeah, Stack, thank you. We're glad that it's helping. We're glad. Okay, Juxta, the bit I've seen of her on streams, she seems like a good great humor too. Yes, she's the one in the Day with DID when we're going through the store. That's our daughter. She's great. Christina will be here to listen. Thank you. Don't have to apologize. We'll be here for you. You guys are so supportive and great. Hope that in 2 years we'll be right here to thank you for that. Thanks, guys. 9:55 a.m. there. Okay, yeah, that's right, because you're in Israel. 8:55 a.m. there. Okay, it seems like if we want to catch the overseas crowd, we just need to do it around midnight here. Okay, Hannah says you really do give us hope as well that futures are possible. The videos you put out have been so helpful for us so far, and it's been a game changer to learn about DID and not just sit on it. Thank you. Good. Like I said, we're not paragons, we're not experts, we're not medical professionals, we're just one up system and working our way through it, just like y'all. So thank you. We're glad it's speaking. Juxta, midnight here. Yeah, sounds like you're on the same time zone as we are. Hey, why did we go out of focus? There we go. Stupid thing. Let's see. Elizabeth, hello. I don't think that we've seen you around in the comment section or on live stream before, so welcome. She says, hi, I watched several of your videos, but this is the first time commenting. Just want to say it's so beautiful to hear you talk about your family. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your kind words. They are great. Like we were just saying, it's not all roses and sugar for sure. Let's see, Juxta says, I've rewatched Trauma and doesn't lie so many times. It's been very helpful. Thank you. Yeah, that's one that we have to revisit from time to time. We kind of wish that we didn't get quite so impassioned on the iatrogenic systems, but we're hard science. Follow the science, it keeps us in line, so... But, you guys wouldn't be here if that wasn't cool. It's not that we're thinking that anybody is invalid. We are just strongly in favor of getting diagnosed if you can. Those of you who can't, do the best you can. We've already chatted with several of you about this. So, we're pro-diagnosis, but we're not, dissing or discounting any other systems out there. We follow the science. Data. So, but yeah, we rewatch Trauma as well. Rice, just wanted to say I'm 19 and it's really nice to see an older adult talk so openly about system stuff. Not to call y'all old, we are. Come on, we're over 50. I mean, fundamentally, we're still the same person inside, but yeah, the years creep up on you. But so many people I see talking about it are around their teens and 20s. Yeah, and that was another reason why we started the channel, was because we found out we had DID, and we found the entropy system and multiplicity in me and some of the others. Once we found the entropy system, we kind of latched on, because they spoke to us and the way that they presented things. And when they went off the air, as it were, we didn't have any real male body representation. There was one system called the Others, but I think they fused. I don't know if they're still out there or not. They were the only other one that we were aware of. They got their start right around the same time. So if they're out there, hope that they're still doing good. But yeah, when Entropy System went off the air, we kind of decided, hey, we're going to honor you guys by picking up the torch and, putting our viewpoint out there. So, kind of a multifaceted reason why we did it. We are glad that that at least our experiences are helping you guys not to feel so much alone, because that's what it's all about. Because let's face it, here's the quandary. DID is probably one of the loneliest conditions on the face of the earth, and yet you're never alone. But it helps to have somebody on the outside that you can talk to, or at least listen to about it, because there are so many things that neurotypicals are just not going to get, and you could never explain to them. No offense, guys. We love advocates. But it's just because of the way that the trauma impacts the brain. There's things that systems will just go, oh yeah, totally, I get that. That a neurotypical's like, it's like, I'm trying to understand, but man, this is turning my brain into spaghetti. Yeah, it's like we can see both sides here. So yeah, don't worry, we're old, Rice. But yeah, thank you. Let's see. Charamia, another new person. Boy, we're getting a lot of new visitors, or at least folks dropping in to say hi, hello, welcome to the channel. If you've been lurking, thanks. Let's see. And there goes my cat. Silly cat. Charamia, you're telling your story reminds me to keep my eyes and heart open to see the kids I meet and believe what I don't want to see, that one day might help a kid in a horrible situation. Yeah. That's the ripple effect, guys, right there. Okay, reality time. Boy, you guys are getting a lot out of us tonight. Okay, I'll let you hold that thought. All right, come on. There you go. Lord and Master. Oof. Whoa. Okay, so, where were we? Hello, chat log. So, yeah. Charamia completely. That's the ripple effect. Yeah, this is where we were at. There is a thin dividing line between being complacent and being complicit. This is one of the things that we're struggling right now in regards to the person that purported to be our mother, as she was biologically, but we have a real hard time calling her that. It tastes bad in our mouth. So we've taken to calling her our egg donor, among other things. But this is one of the things, as we've been recovering the trauma, and all of the pieces have been falling into place, and they're ugly pieces, as you guys have found out. And we won't share everything. We really try not to kick you guys in the gut too much, because it's like we said earlier, you can show this stuff without being exploitive, and we prefer to show it, in a more common way. You don't need to sensationalize trauma to get your point across or to tell the details. So yeah, that's one of the things that we're struggling with her. Was she complacent? Did she just not care what was happening to us? Did she just turn a blind eye because she didn't want to deal with it? Uh, or was she complicit? And doesn't being complacent make a person complicit? In our case, it's the evidence is there. She was complicit. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, good point. So something to keep in mind, I mean, we're not harshing on you anything, Tiara, or sorry, we're probably Charamia, but yeah, that's our thoughts on it. So yeah, everybody out there, keep your eye out for a kid because you might be the person that makes that difference in your life. Sorry, got kind of serious there. Okay, so Rice says it makes me feel a little less of a kid thing. Reminds me that other adult systems out there that just live their lives and work on trauma recovery too. Oh yeah, absolutely. Uh, yeah, trauma recovery work is it's a bitch. It's hard. It's Jesus, re-experiencing this shit. Sight, sound, smell, touch, taste. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's sensorama, and you're there. Just as real as you're here now, you're there. More so because you're not here anymore. You're there. And it's hell. It's like we say in Trauma Doesn't Lie, we are trapped in a hell from which we cannot escape, and that we can only minimize the symptoms of and try to live our best life. Yeah. Trauma work sucks. Excuse us again. Fighting a cold, for those of you who don't know. Rice says, same Jux. Trauma Doesn't Lie is a video we watch a lot. Thank you guys. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. Excellent. Excellent. Great. I love it when you guys do that. You have such a strong sense of community already, and it's not like we're like trying to deliberately build one or anything. Because like we said, we're just one system. We're not out to be a large channel or anything. Although you guys keep subscribing. Oh well, what they we'll worry about that if it happens. But then we said the same thing well before we got 1,000. So okay, anyway, dudes, shut up. Sorry, internal dialogue coming up. Elizabeth, hello, welcome. I'm 45 and really appreciate hearing from another older system and strongly relate. Good. Hi. Drop some more comments, please. Feel free. We read every single comment that you guys put down. We may not respond right away, but we always do read them. And generally, our way of saying, "Hey, we've read your comment. Cool. Thanks for listening." If we don't reply directly, is to leave a heart and a like. So if you see that we've hearted you, you know that we've read your comment. Unless, like with Lisa, you ask a really important, interesting question, and we kind of have to put you on hold because then we're going to answer personally in a video, which we will do for her. So thank her very much for being patient. So, and for those of you who haven't been around the channel a long time, in the comment section and on the live streams, these are our rules. Okay. And we reinforce them. We enforce them mercilessly. Okay, you have the right to your opinion. You have the right to state your opinion. You do not have the right to abuse other people with your opinion, or stir up shit, or troll. If you do any of those things, we will ban you without a second thought or a bad feeling. We've been on the internet a long time. Since its birth, we have been forum admins, we have been administrators, and we have zero tolerance for trolls and bullshit. Okay? So just don't waste your time. So those are the rules. Other than that, hey, go for it. Okay, Christina, it was louder than when they pass above my house. Kind of made me giggle. Okay, Valerie Lynn, no need to keep apologizing. Your emotions are valid and you have a right to feel them. Actually, we were apologizing for our stuffy nose, but that's okay. Or maybe we were because we do tend to apologize a lot. It's a very common thing for systems, as we said in our live stream, and then immediately, or one of our early ones, we told you guys count the number of times that you say that you're sorry in a day, and then it's like immediately after that we say that we're sorry. So hypocrisy in action. Although actually it's just so ingrained, that's one of the things we're working on right now is boundary setting and things like that. So anywho, thank you, Valerie, for that, though. Bug Bean, we know this feeling about breaking our own heart quite well. Wow, okay, I'm way back. I'm going to try to speed up on these. Sorry, guys. Dealing with fear of abandonment, dealing with the anguish of a child is a very powerful praise for the work I've been doing. Yeah, it's a unique perspective. Okay, Naomi, yes, 5 pieces of 9 are absolutely awesome. Number 5. No, it's just the word 5. Yeah. Okay, done. Thank you guys for that. Thank you, thank you. Excellent. Fallout System. I'm not familiar with them yet. We will look them up. Thanks, Naomi. Um, we don't actually watch a lot of other system channels, not because we don't want to. We do. We try to get around, but we just don't have a lot of time. Really, that's where it's at. We just really don't have time. But we do try to keep track. Okay, Valerie Lynn, yes, family life with DID can be very hard. My husband's brother has DID. Things do get rough sometimes. Taught me and my husband so much. Thank you for being a good educational source for us. You're welcome. We don't consider ourselves really an educational channel. I mean, like we said, we take great pains to tell you guys we are not experts. We're patients, okay? But when Data puts something together, our informative videos, okay, you may have noticed, and if you haven't, look in the comment or in the description. We always put our sources down there. It's like the whole of Learning to Love Again. Data found it was like a 90 odd page PDF. I'm guessing. I don't know. The link is there. You can check it out. But it was a very technical paper that he was able to sit down and graph out and make it into that video, which is our most viewed video, over 13K views. Now, here's the irony. You might think we're making bank on that, but we actually don't, because all of our heavier videos come back as not subject to monetization, which, you know what, is actually cool with us, because here's the twist. It's the message that's important. And that is what's getting out there. So we don't care about the monetization, but it's kind of an ironic fact. Same thing with Trauma Doesn't Lie, Boys Cry Too. Ironically, Trauma Doesn't Lie has both flipped on and off. The algorithm does really weird things. But anyway, we digress a lot. So thank you, Valerie. I'm taking out to worry. Also, the A system, not familiar with those. Let's see, channel the A system and spouse. Sorry for blowing up the chat so much. No, not at all. Don't apologize, Valerie. We've been told that we always have the most polite, nicest streams, and we're like, okay. Yeah, Stack, it's painfully ironic how lonely DID can be. Honestly, as a host with a lot of traumatized kids, it's something I struggle with a lot. Yeah, it's which is why we say, Stack, you are not alone. Okay? We get it. We get it. We just may be talking over the internet. You're sitting there listening to us. But at least you know that you're not alone. That somebody else out there feels the same way. And that is the point. That's why we tell you guys, you're loved. You're strong because you are. Think about it. You got this far. You survived terrible things. You're strong. And you're not alone. Right there. That's our philosophy. Okay. Daft Wooly, another new person. Boy, we're just getting everyone out of the woodwork today. Welcome. We haven't seen you around. May I ask who is fronting? That's an excellent question. It's Chris, the core host. Data's doing his thing in the background, and everybody else is basically asleep, other than Percival and Nigel are... Well, they're doing what Percival and Nigel do. So That's moving right along. So yeah, it's just Chris. Yeah. I'm not sure if you guys can tell a lot of the time who's fronting when we talk, because generally it's just Data and I, and we have been told that there is a marked difference between the way that Data affects and the way that we affect, but we are so intertwined. It's very fluid. So yeah, just me. Or us, yeah, since I'm never alone. Just want to address you by the right name. Thanks, Daft. That's very considerate of you. We've been a system so long, and we've been working together so long that we had considered ourselves to be one being. So we're not really hung up on the pronouns or anything like that because we're just still working our own way through it. And plus, it's not to offend anybody, but some of the things like with the asterisks and stuff like that, and I mean, we want to be sensitive, but some of it is just a little overboard. It's like, why are you putting an asterisk? Because the mind is filling in what the actual word is. So what's the point? I don't know. Anyway, so hope you don't piss anyone off like that, but it's just we tend to be binary thinkers. Let's see, but yeah, we definitely appreciate the consideration. Thank you very much. Right, strong work definitely sucks. Yeah, for sure. And it is constant. Okay, Hannah's commenting on the complacency and complicity. Yeah, we're not going to get back into that, but you guys can rewatch who just came in. We've been all over the place tonight. We started the stream because our son graduated from high school tonight, and we just kind of wanted to share that and how it was making us feel and how it was affecting the system. And here we are, an hour and 6 minutes later, on what we thought was only going to be like a 5-minute stream. So. Okay, I've only seen your videos before, though never been to a live. Yeah, thanks, Daft. This is not our usual live stream time. Normally, we do it on the last Saturday of each month at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which fluctuates. But we've always felt a little bit bad because a lot of our overseas viewers, because of the time difference, really can't hang around or they'll come in. So I think we're hitting a lot of you guys tonight who are overseas. It's like Naomi, I know that you're in Israel. So the rest of you are probably insomniacs just like us. So. Juxta, I've had very repressed emotions until recently and had convinced myself I never felt lonely. Now that I'm getting my emotions back, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm finally able to be happy, but now I know what lonely is. Yeah. We're there, Juxta. We're there. Been there many times. Daft, therapy in general can be pretty rough, especially in the beginning. Yeah. Oops, sorry. I know you guys probably don't mind. We were raised in a different time, and we still prefer not to use profanity when we can, but then it's like Mimi, who paints with profanity the way that an artist would with a brush. Let's see. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. Excellent. I love this about you, or we love this about you guys. Well, I do, because I'm up front currently. Wow, Rice has been in therapy since they were about 11, so it's pretty typical for us, but only recently started doing trauma work, and it's really heavy. Oh, wow. Yeah, Rice, you have our respect, and it's not like we want to offer sympathy. It's like most people would use that word, support. There we go. We offer you our understanding and support. Let's see, Hannah Banana. I love that. Feeling the terror of childhood and grief. We're saying I a lot more. Okay, I must be more towards the front. Sorry, it goes back and forth for us depending upon who's co-conning, and we get mishy-mashy. I and we are kind of, like I said, we've been a system for so long. We go back and forth, although I'm sure somebody at some point is going to be watching this and going, oh yeah, they're faking because they say I a lot as well as we, so they must be missing. It's like whatever. Okay, feeling the terror of childhood and grief at the same time from other parts that have grown up can feel Or can feel strange until it's all blocked off again. Trauma definitely sucks. Try to grapple. Yeah, we know that feeling. Stack, no problem. Okay, Rice. What's been bothering us a lot recently is how lonely our system kids have been, and we don't really know how to deal with it. As adults, caretakers, we can handle it, but we're so sad for them. That's something that we're working on right now. We haven't filled you guys in on it, I don't think, but we had a new little uh, appear recently, and her name is Susie, and she's 5. She appeared after Christopher went away at 4.5, and she's a happy child, despite the fact that she pushes these terrible trauma memories at us, but to her they're not traumatic, which is really weird because she's all about birds and butterflies and strawberries and white frilly dresses and things, and at least that's what our therapist has told us, because she doesn't co-con with us. She's beginning to figure out that, hey, I can influence the body. So it's like we're going, okay, take these trauma memories and we're just going to stick a pin in that. But yeah, so she's just come to the forefront, and one of the things that she wanted to know was whether or not she. Okay, there we go. That's really annoying. Sorry, my pill reminder, or our pill reminder popped up again. So. Okay, let's see. Going back. Okay, actually, I'm pretty well caught up here. Or we are. Where were we? Yeah, okay, Rice, on your thing. Yeah, but so Susie wants to know if she can play with Christopher, but not in the headspace. Out here. Fronting. We don't even know if that's possible. Can two littles co-con in the same body and play together? We have no idea. There is just so much of this crap that you just gotta roll with it. Because D&D takes it's like, here's your sock, here's your life and your mind. Now we're gonna stick DID and turn you inside out. So yeah, there's so much of it. So yeah, it's like that's we actually, Christopher is due to front again. So we have a feeling that Susie may. I don't want to say try to horn in, but we might try to make that happen and see what actually happens, except our mind going and us getting an instant TITH. For you new guys or who haven't seen our previous videos on it, a TITH, those nasty, terrible headaches that you get as a system, and you would just pay somebody to put a shotgun to your head and blow it off. It's called a TITH, which stands for Transitional Interpersonality Thunderclap Headache. Very long, complicated name for what is a very logical and simple thing. What causes these headaches is the blood pressure changes in the brain when each alter switches into the body. The blood pressure, it dilates and goes, and they generally happen with hard switches. Or sudden switches, but yeah, those headaches, and those of you who've experienced them know what we're talking about. That's what they're called. So, yeah, sorry, like we tend to get off on sidetracks on some of these questions. So Rice, maybe that'll be able to help you. Our example, but yeah, it's you have to work with the littles. Treat them as though they were little children. If you get a sudden surge of interest from the toy aisle, if it's within reason, get it. I mean, we sleep with 3 stuffed animals, guys. Okay, we're a 50-year-old man, and we sleep with 3 stuffed animals. 2 hippos and a manta ray. Bitsy, Betsy, and Flapjack. Okay, and if we don't, Christopher freaks out. So, roll with it. If you'd told us 4 years ago any of this, we wouldn't have believed you. We'd have went... So, yeah. DID rewrites your life. So, Rice, we do hope that works out. We're with you. Okay, Lisa says your voice gets less emotional when Data fronts for a minute. I can tell. Okay. Yeah, Data, he can't afford emotions. He does have basic ones, but it's he is his name. Information storage and retrieval. Who's up front? Who's on first? Okay, juxtapositions say they started a kind of spiritual reparenting of their younger selves, getting, yes, literal. Okay, yeah, just should have read the comments first. Exactly what we were just talking about. Daff says, hi, Chris, my best friend is a system and often streams are kind of a party where most of the guys and gals are hanging around to have fun with us. Juxta says that he can't tell, or they can't tell, sorry, between Chris and Data. It doesn't surprise me that I can't since I'm on the spectrum. I don't think that has anything to do with it, honestly, Juxta, but yeah, because our son is on the spectrum, so we're pretty well familiar. So yeah, don't belittle yourself on that. Data and I are so intertwined. He was the first. So, I think I'm about to get rained on. We'll see. Surprise for you guys. We'll find out. Okay, so, right, you guys are talking back and forth. I'm going to try to catch up on these questions here. I love that you guys talk back and forth, but with all the... Oh, yeah, Naomi. Oh, my God. She says, it's morning for with all the rockets lately. I really don't sleep either. Naomi, please be safe. Please. I mean, we know that it's tough over there. We know as well as we can over here in America what's going on, and just please stay safe, okay? Do your best, and we really hope that things work out over there. Truly. We didn't even think about that until just now. Please be safe, okay? And don't be a stranger. Give us some time. Well, actually, you do, so never mind. Just keep doing what you do. We'll always answer your DMs. Always. Okay. Okay, Juxta says they have rainbow sparkle narwhals. Oh, that sounds awesome. One lights up. Do you remember the glowworms? Any Gen Xers out there remember glowworms? One gives kisses and it feels a little ridiculous as a 35-year-old to have toys on my desk, but they bring me real joy. Well, yeah, that's what they're for. I mean, come on, we've all seen Toy Story, right? What's the purpose of a toy? We never stopped playing with them. I don't think any Gen Xer really stopped playing with toys. That's why the 80s was the best, and that's why, there's so much stuff now. So yeah, you millennials, you owe it to us. Yeah, no, just messing. Let's see. Okay, Ryson, after talking back and forth. That's good. Good. And Stack's joining in. God, I love the way that you guys talk. Okay, Elizabeth said this is the most realness I've seen on a stream in a while. Definitely not faking. Thanks. We're not. We don't care what other people think, but we know that we're not. I mean, we're diagnosed, guys. I mean, we got the paper. Charmia from Norway. Awesome. Been quietly watching from about day one. Am not multiple and have no trauma. Just very interested in learning about life and people living differently than yourself. Good for you. You are a good human being. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Yes, thank you. We're glad that we're able to be part of your journey. Absolutely. Inquiring minds want to know. My grandfather used to say that if you don't learn something new every day, at least one thing, you're not living. He was a pretty wise guy, so yeah, for sure. Good for you. Yeah, Juxta med reminder strikes again. Fortunately, we actually take our meds early. We've got it programmed. And actually, here's a tip for you, because one of our listeners or viewers, Rose's Rent, one of our friends, the two systems that we became friends with because of the channel, turned us on to an app called Medisafe, Medisafe, Medisafe. And it has been a godsend for us remembering our meds, because you can program it in there and set a time for each med when you need to take it, or just all together. We take all of ours together at night just because it's a lot easier for the way that the meds work and the interactions, because we try to avoid being, all sleepy during the day. And, like sometimes the Seroquel and the propranolol can make you really sleepy, because let's see, we've got lamotrigine, Seroquel, propranolol, trazodone. Uh, we don't take the Prazosin anymore because that made our sleep paralysis 3,000 times worse. And as it is, we have 2 or 3 of those a week. So yeah, and not leaving out the heart stuff that we have to take because we had sky high blood pressure. Sorry, you don't need to know all this. But yeah, also part of dealing with DID. Let's see here. So yeah, meta reminder. It's actually a good question. I'm officially shocked. Christina says, I'm not sure which question it was because I'm running behind, but yeah. A couple of our littles have been in total. Oh, okay. You're talking about whether or not the two, whether or not Christopher and Susie can play together. Uh, yeah, the DID keeps throwing us curveballs. You know, it's. Let's see. Hannah Banana says a couple of their littles have been total double trouble sort of deal. For what it's worth, masterminds of glittering messes with the bonus of teamwork. Oh, that's great. Thank you. We needed that laugh. Actually, today's been pretty damn good, but it's always good to get a good belly. Yeah, oh, Lord, I can just see the mess. Although Christopher is extremely meticulous, he is a very, very neat little boy. Everything has to be just so in just such an order and put back in the same place. Yeah, he's, and of course, part of that is due to the trauma. Clean, quiet, safe. Yeah, we'll stop it there. So yeah. Let's see. Rice and After talking about Discords. It's too much. I know that you're not saying why don't we have one, but we have considered it, but we just don't have the time to run it. Sorry. We know the time involved in there, and really that's why we're only on Instagram, because Twitter is a toxic wasteland, Facebook is useless, and Instagram is pretty much where it's at, and the only one that we have time to do. We're just not. I mean, it's like if we were looking at it from a purely, it's like, oh, YouTube creator standpoint, growing your footprint, blah 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 blah. We're not good at the social media side, and we're not gonna make excuses for it. People will find us if they'll find us, and like we said before, that's not our focus. But if you guys wonder why we're not active on the other social medias, that's it. Basically, we just told you. It comes down to time. So Elizabeth, yes, trying to figure out how to cocon. Thought it said cocoon for a minute. With a little who wants me to introduce them to my dog while I supervise. Hard to figure out the logistics. Sidetrack, Elizabeth. We've noticed with our cats, who you guys just saw earlier, that when Christopher fronts and the littles front, they know the difference. Yeah, because we've actually recorded several of the sessions with the littles. No, you will never see them. They're purely for our research purposes. We don't show the littles. Sorry, not going to happen. The closest that you're going to get probably is the Voices in My Head a Day with DID, where he very briefly talks there in the store. And actually, the more keener-eared among you might actually hear Nigel speak in there as well. We forgot to credit him because he's so sneaky, but he actually does speak in there. He's telling Percival something. Unfortunately, they're done doing what they do and are now asleep, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so, yeah, see if the dog reacts differently to the littles and the different alters. And if any of the rest of you have got that kind of an experience, can your pets tell? Drop a comment, or, live chat. Okay, Hannah Banana is saying a blood pressure change that makes way more sense than the weird ideas we had glossed over our headaches with the past few years. Yeah, the TITHs, but that's what they're called. We were very surprised that we actually found out that they had a name, and Data dug that one up, and boy, that was on one of his exhaustive information searches, and he went, aha. Yeah, so I mean that's what we try to share with you guys is what's going on, our experiences, and the actual hard science behind it. Because a lot of people say, oh, DID can't be real because there's no hard science or there's no evidence. Bullshit. There is. It's there. Catch up, Western science. And fortunately, they're starting to, which is what our upcoming episode this weekend will be about. So, some more hard science for you guys. Less kick in the gut this time. So yeah, definitely nasty headaches. Okay, stack rice and okay. I love that you guys just chat. You see, that's our purpose, is to be like a gathering place, not us preaching to you guys or anything. We're just like y'all. Ripples. We're just standing on the pond throwing rocks. Okay. This one's for another cis kid. Two or more littles playing. Okay, Bugbean says two or more littles playing with each other co-con is something we already had. Okay, so it is possible. In therapy, sometimes older kids help younger ones out too. Okay, yeah, see, our main fear there has been Christopher did front for 2 days. He was up front for 2 days. I mean, it was one of these where uh, we blanked out, and all of a sudden it's 2 days later, and we're sitting in our therapist's office at the clinic next to our wife, going, why are we here? And we've got Bitsy in one hand, and it's like, yeah, that was after the. We're not going to get back into it, but that was after the trauma recall of Jenny and Jane, and what happened to us and what happened to them. Yeah. So yeah, well, thank you, Bugbean. We're glad to know that it's actually possible. Let's see. Yeah, now you see, okay, forgive me, but we keep commenting on it, but this just points it out right here. This proves it. Stack and Rice and you guys have been talking together and you're supporting each other and saying how similar your experiences are and how much they overlap. You're proving the point. We're not alone. We have each other. Right there. Right there. Love you guys. Seriously. This tells us that we're actually doing something good other than the little stories. We're very proud of that. Percival is of course a bit of a, I don't want to say an attention whore, but he likes the spotlight. He'll never admit it, but he does. But if there's other than the educational stuff, um, because we're not accredited, so we can't say we're an educational, or we won't say that we're an educational channel. Uh, though we do try to be accurate because we're not qualified. So we're very careful to make that delineation. But if we've done one thing that we're proud of, other than that, it is the little stories, and it's gotten progressively more polished, as it were. We worked a long time on the new intro, and to try to make the littles feel as safe as possible in that environment, because we really do. I mean, it's not just lip service when Percival says that we care oh so much about each and every one of you. We do, particularly him. He really cares, because littles need a safe space, and they need something that can be there no matter where you are or when you need it, and we wanted to create that for them, and it's turning out to be a good thing. So yay, yay. Another thing we can kind of take pride in. Boy, we're just all full of pride tonight, aren't we? Sorry for no, Rice. Do not apologize for clogging up the chat. We want you guys to talk back and forth. Okay, maybe this is not a good thing in other live streams, but here we encourage this. So don't apologize for it. Okay, we encourage this. Do it, please, because this is how knowledge is shared. So yeah. Lisa Bauer, pray for Israel. Yeah, for sure. Glowworms, yes. Hannah Banana remembers. I was hoping there would be somebody. Our little sister had one. Let's see. Rice says, "Have you ever considered making it?" Yeah, we already answered that question. We just don't have the time to handle a Discord server. Now, if one of you guys wants to make one, go ahead. I mean, we'll give it our official stamp of approval, not under our name, honestly, because then we would have to manage it. But we just don't have the time, guys. We're on Instagram, and it's just there's a lot that's involved in having a family. And dealing with all of this. Like I said, we deal with stuff that you guys are not aware of at the time, because it's just we're working through it, and it's just not appropriate to share some of the things that we're going through, even though you would be supportive and understanding. It's it's just not appropriate. We have to respect the privacy of our other family members and their feelings and our position in our journey and where we're at and the issues that we're dealing with. So we appreciate that you guys understand that. Yeah, okay, Juxta's literally saying, Juxta, you're just, I just need to make you a moderator. The next time that we're not on here, I'm gonna, well, actually, I wonder if I can do it here. Yeah, sure, now it's not gonna let me. Okay, we're gonna do that, though. You just got voluntold, Juxta. Okay, Cotton Candy, 3, okay, you're probably already gone by now, but thank you, Cotton Candy. Good night. Sweet dreams. Love you guys, too. Okay, Naomi saying it kept stuffed in the safe room with our kids, and now we're having a ceasefire. Yeah, we just read about that today, so yeah, hopefully. And we don't get into politics, but I'm going to say this to all of you, our foreign viewers and our folks overseas. We'd like to personally apologize for the shit that America has been going through lately. We're not going to get into politics, but this is not what America is about. What you've seen lately. It is not what America's about. And we are at a critical point in world history. And we've briefly mentioned this before, so we're not going to go onto a rant, but we are standing at one of those critical thresholds in history where we are being given the opportunity to create the kind of world that we all want to live in, that will make all of our lives better. And it's time that we come together as a species and see ourselves that way rather than black, white, red, Asian, foreign, all of these things, these separations, Christian, Protestant, Russian, American, Israeli. We are all one species on one planet, and we need to start thinking of ourselves that way so that we can start taking care of each other and the planet and all the life forms here, which is our job. It's time to grow up. So, yeah. There's our rant on that, so. Okay, but yes, please, Naomi, stay safe. And keep checking in, please. Panic attacks because of motorcycles. I'm glad that we don't, because we're surrounded by cyclists here. No, Naomi also uses MediSafe. Excellent. I wish I could cook like yourself. Hello, Mama Cass Reborn's another new person who's just popped in. Hello, if you're a longtime viewer, glad that you finally came out. If you're a newbie, welcome. Wish I could cook like your system. Yeah, that's all Rosemary. That's all Rosemary right there. She does the cooking. I mean, I can cook too, but she's the pro. So yeah, unfortunately, her range is kind of limited to American solid standard kind of things. But yeah, who knows? Maybe she'll branch out. She does like French cooking, so. Yeah, okay, we're just catching up. 9:40 a.m. German there. Cool. We've always wanted to see Germany. The forests are just so beautiful. Okay, Christina, I know you're probably already gone. You said you're heading to bed. Have a great night. Naomi, my son is also a perfectionist. Everything, yeah. Juxta finds social media intimidating. People tell me to video myself talking about stuff, but I get anxious and bail so far. That was exactly the same reaction that 5 Pieces of 9 had. And we told them, you don't actually have to speak or be on camera to get your message out there. And they found another way, a unique way to tell their story. And it's just as potent and valid as us sitting in front of this, So tell your story, Juxta. It's a big step. We took it ourselves, but we felt strongly called to do it. And, it's like, okay, are we going to sit here in our fear forever, or are we going to move forward and, take that step no matter what? And we decided to, and there's been some ups and downs, obviously, but it's resonating. We've got you guys, and we all have each other, so. Okay, Rice says he has a service dodge that can alert to switches on occasion. Okay, so yeah, animals can totally pick up. Okay, you guys are talking about Discord here, so we're just gonna kind of gloss over that guy. Yeah, a ton of hard evidence. Well, he's talking about. We'll get in more into that more about the episodes. Yeah, exactly. Excellent point there, Jeremy. She says, or they say, about science and proof. The Vikings said that Thor made thunder and lightning because they didn't know about electricity. Just because something's not scientifically proven doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Any society that is sufficiently advanced will appear to a more primitive one as being indistinguishable from magic. Arthur C. Clarke, yes. Paraphrased, not exact quote, but we're close. Okay, Elizabeth says that the animals can tell the difference between parts too. Dog, yeah, the dog. Again, with the dog. We're cat people, but so let's see, Lexi, hello. Been a while since we've seen you. Let's see. What an amazing group of people in this chat. Yes, absolutely. Ray says, oh, we completely forgot about the little stories. That's amnesia for you. One of our kids was watching the other day and it made us so happy. Thank you so much for making them. You're welcome. You're welcome. We all help out with that because there's different levels to the production. Yeah, there's I mean Percival's the star, as it were. Let me go back to sleep. Sorry. But yeah, it's a group effort, which was one of the reasons that we started as well, because it was an exercise to help us learn to work together in CoCon. So good thing all around for everybody. Hannah says she's not sure they're comfortable giving their names, but one of our littles was so quick to try to teach another how to be loud. It's so important to have them together, not apart. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna have to try it and see if Susie and Chris will take that leap of faith that we were just talking about there. So yeah. Oh, sister, did your sibs go through abuse as well? You are an astute person, Lisa. We're not going to go into detail, but we will say that there is and was strong evidence that actually, no, we're just going to come right out. Yes. Yes. Our little sister was abused as well. Yeah, there's more. There's more, but yes. Yeah, absolutely. Our stepfather was a real sick fuck. Anyway, moving right along. Let's see. You've been voluntold, yes. A new internet thing to reset. Really, all it does is you just keep watch for trolls and block them if they come out and answer people's questions if you know the answer, which is what you've already been doing because you seem to jump ahead of us. So, okay, more about Discord. You guys go ahead and set that up. Beata, hello. Wow. I haven't seen you in a long time. We haven't seen you. 9 a.m. on Poland. Really appreciate you and all we want to do on your channel. Thank you. Thank you. And we're glad to see you again. We're glad you're doing good. Stack says the main thing stopping them from talking on YouTube about their experiences is worrying about getting doxxed. I want a career where being open about DID might hurt your future. Yeah, it sucks. That's the stigma right there. Here's why we're not worried about it too much. Because number one, we know how to keep a minimal digital footprint, and we are always pretty damn careful when we film something or do a live stream to frame things to where there's not a lot of identifiable things. There's little things. I mean, it's like even right now, you're just looking at the side of our house. We're not really showing any trees or anything like that because that could be used as an identifying thing. But more importantly, we keep saying it, we've been on the internet a long time. And above and beyond that, excuse us, we're fighting a cold. go. Better. Sorry. Um, Above and beyond that, we don't care. A bully only has power if you actually give a shit. But admittedly, we're at the end of our life. Well, no, we're not at the end of our lives, but we're older, and we just. And plus, if you really want to know, and this is kind of a skirbic, but we've been abused by professionals. We've been called everything under the sun. There is nothing that anyone could write or say that could possibly equal what we've already been through. So just don't waste your time. Sorry, I mean, I know that's not going to apply to everybody, Stack, but they only have power if you let them. And just be careful. But hey, we totally respect your thing. If you're worried about that, we get you, man. We get you. But again, you don't have to show your face. Yeah, so, okay, you're literally saying can deal with hate comments or trolls, but some people are genuinely malicious to those who talk about DID online. Yeah. Twitter. Juxtaposition says, sad that being honest about our mental state can harm our future. I would have sought so much help so much sooner if I'd known my mental state was so unusual. There we go. Sorry, we're scrolling back up. Okay, there we go. Jux says that they would have sought help so much sooner if they'd known their mental state was so unusual. Yeah. Well, now you see, this is the thing, and we go into this in Trauma Doesn't Lie. When you're in it, you don't see it because there's no frame of reference. It's only that outside frame of reference that gives you the proper perspective, and even then you're going, no, but yeah, that's mood. So yeah, but yeah, we're there with you. We didn't know. We had no clue what we were. No clue. And now, of course, we're learning that it was all right there from square one. It's like one of the most frustrating things for us is all the little jagged pieces of our lives, all the weird little things from our childhood are now falling into place under the lens of our trauma. And it's, yeah. Moving right along. I was looking to have fun with System Friends. Recently, we started watching the Studio Ghibli movies. Ghibli's always good. Most of them. There's a couple we don't care for, but okay, you guys are talking back and forth. I love not only the fact, or we love that not only the fact that you guys are talking to each other, but just the content of your conversations. You're really reaching each other. Yeah, Mommy Cass Reborn says that they've been doxed, nothing came of it, and it was okay. Yeah, exactly. It's the fear that they're looking to engender. That's how they get their kicks. That's their hit of adrenaline, is the knowledge that they've made another person afraid by their petty little, easily learned internet researching skills. I mean, shit, guys, you can dox anybody if you know the right place to look. It's not that goddamned hard. And yet they treat it like, oh, I'm big shit because I can look stuff up on a prevalent record. Well, guess what? We worked in law enforcement and we know all the ins and outs. So, with us at your peril. Again, there's another reason. What do you mean you don't have a voice being cruel to you in your head and an internal radio to drown it out in your active thoughts all at the same time? Had the SWAT team here as a prank from YouTube, but the doxing was not the cause. Oh, mama, sorry. We would not handle that well. Bootstraps would step in and things would get tense real quick. Not afraid, it's just, it's a fact. Bootstraps is a protector and he does his job real well. a little too aggressively sometimes. We've had some close shaves. Just me then. I'll talk to my therapist. Okay, yeah, that stigma is why you want to talk about it, but it's also the thing preventing me from doing it. There's the contradiction of fear. And we know how tough a struggle it is, Stack. We really do. And you're the only one who can decide to do it, but we support you 100%. Get yourself out there if you choose to do so. You have a voice, you have a unique story to tell, and you're the only one who can tell it. Well, simple logic. All right, here. Discover. Okay, Naomi said that she discovered a few months ago that something I thought was a bad memory is actually a trauma. They're sneaky. Yeah, they're sneaky. Valerie, 4 a.m. going to bed. Thank you. Of course, you're probably already gone, but anyway, if you watch the recording afterwards, we're always polite. So. And actually, it's almost, boy, we went for one of our regular stream lengths here, and we are getting a little tired. It's been a very long day. We were up before 6 a.m. and everything for the graduation, so it's been a trying day. We took our propranolol before going to the ceremony and brought our orange oil along, and we're real glad that we did because we got triggered a couple times. Fireworks and body odor. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, okay, Rice is talking about due to their trauma, they have a lot of worries and paranoia about surveillance and people finding us despite logic telling them that there's nothing to worry about and they're safe. Yeah, we get that one every damn time that we step foot outside the house. Wait. Hannah, are you not safe? Okay, if we missed something, we're sorry. We will go back and reread. Hannah, if you are not safe, reach out. There are hotlines. There are safe houses that you can go to. They're out there. Just look in your phone book or Google. Okay, do not stay in an unsafe situation. You have resources. Just don't be afraid to get out there. We may be jumping the gun here, but that boing, popped out. Mommy Cast Reborn says your editing is the best ever. Do you have a background in computers? Yes. Yeah. We grew up with computers. We grew up with the computer revolution, all the way back to the Timex Sinclair 2K with 2 kilobytes of memory. Just dated ourselves really bad there. But yeah, I actually do a lot of the editing. Data is mostly responsible for research. I do the editing and the sound work. We actually did have a channel previous to this one that was a podunk little kind of half comedy, half serious channel about UFOs and the paranormal. And basically the premise was, well, what if the regular news actually took these things seriously and looked at them with a scientific point of view and an open mind rather than, just passing it off. And we would take sightings from MUFON, UFO sightings, and bring them in and analyze them, pick them apart, try to find the most logical explanation. So we got a lot of our video editing experience through there, and just over the course of time, the various programs, we've done some 3D modeling, which you guys can tell if you've seen the Inside Our Headspace, the Glade, and the beginning of the little stories. That's all 3D work that we did in virtual reality because we're big into VR, and there's actually a lot of we want to do some episodes and some research on the possibility of VR and in the treatment of DID and dissociative conditions, because we've noticed some very powerful impacts. In fact, we've been triggered out a couple of times inadvertently with some of the games that we've played. So there's definitely a lot of promise there that we want to look into. Sorry, kind of got a bit of a sidetrack there, but yeah, and thank you for commenting on the editing. We try to make it look as professional as we can without going overboard, because that was one of the things on our previous channel that we did, was everything was scripted to the nth degree and all the effects, and I mean we really went whole hog to the point where it would take us too long to do an episode. And when we started this channel, one of the things that we promised ourselves is that it was just going to be off the cuff, non-scripted, except for the educational videos where we have to lay out the facts that data researches for us. But other than that, it's just basically free form, and we had to force ourselves to do that because we want to micromanage everything and make it just perfect. But there is no such thing as just perfect. But we do try to give you guys as polished a product, well, content or whatever you want to call it, as we possibly can. Within reason. Little stories, the little stories that's probably our most complex. No, and not probably it is. It's our most complex piece that we do here on the channel. Accepting Percival's reads, which we've only done the Forgotten Door so far. Which was well received, but he's more in, and we're going to do more adult novels, or he will at some point, but he's all about the littles right now, so it's entirely dependent upon him, and we don't make anybody do anything if they don't want to do it. It's just not healthy, and that's not what we're about, and this is all a learning thing for us. So yeah, we've got the background. Long story short, all the way back. I mean, we built our own computer since square one. So yeah, we grew up with the tech. Okay, yeah, Lisa, thank you for saying we've lived in the same place as childhood, different houses. Adulthood is a blessing with more autonomy, but it's a struggle. Okay, but as long as you stay safe, Hannah, okay, please don't stay in a bad situation. Just don't. It's not worth it. It's trust us. We know. CCC, okay, CC Cosplay, CC, thank you. Hello, welcome, another new one. Unless you changed your name. No, I don't think we've seen you before. So, welcome, hey. Love your channel, fabulous darlings indeed. Thank you, Kiri. Hannah, our sentiments exactly, Lisa. Okay, wait for surgery. Okay. We've seen you to talk about check out. It's super hard for us to visualize things in our head, and we can't visit our inner world, and that's kind of scary. Okay, Rice, we're going to read that again. I don't think they're saying, I don't think we've seen you all talk about it at all. We'll need to check it out. It's super hard for us to visualize things. Okay, they're talking about our headspace and things, and they can't visit our inner world, and that's kind of scary. Rice, actually, okay, while it's fresh in our head, we just discovered a new channel called Royston Tilts, a therapist's perspective. Royston, Royston, I think it's TILTS, / a therapist perspective. Just look up Royston Tilts. He apparently is an actual therapist, and he did a video on DID. I think it's the most recent one that he did on it, where he actually talks about a condition and other systems that they cannot visualize 3D objects, or they can't visualize objects, and we don't remember what the name of the condition is called. Data is gone. Well, he's dormant at the moment, I suppose is the best way to put it, so I can't tell you the exact thing. But head over to that channel, because he does talk about that exact thing. You're not alone in that. And apparently other systems who have this condition also have no headspace. So head over there to check that out. Some of that info might help. So, see, this is why we're glad that you guys talk to each other, because these little things that you may not mention will trigger something in us or another person, and then the next thing you know, we're all sharing the knowledge. Oh, wow, Yoga Nidra. Wow, Juxta, we have walked some of the same roads. Oh, thank you, Naomi. Yeah, Percival, he tells a good story. He's quite the orator. Yeah, okay, Rice, he's tried meditation, or they've tried meditation a little, and it helps slightly, but it's hard to not dissociate. That's one of the reasons meditation was always a challenge for us, so yeah. Oh, your kids are watching them too, Naomi? Oh, thank you. If anybody is out there, we leave our videos to where our users can actually create subtitles and upload them. So Naomi, if you want to do some alternate subtitles for your language, or anyone out there, feel free to do that. And if it's not automatic, we'll see if we can make it happen. Lisa's watched them all as well. Yoaston Hiltz. No, Roy. R-O-Y. Royston Tilts. Tilts. Royston Tilts. It's okay. Yes, that. Aphantasia. Yes, you nailed it, Royston. That was the one. Yeah, and we literally just learned about this yesterday or the day before, so it was fresh in the mind. So yeah, yeah, yeah. You developed it when you were put on Prozocin, but after going off, it still hasn't gotten better. Oh my God, Prozocin. We had a bad experience with that. So okay, yeah, Dash says, love Royston's positive and encouraging. Yeah, yeah, we actually subscribe. We found the comment data that apparently had been watched, left a comment for him, and decided to subscribe. And he was like, thank you very much for the encouraging words of encouragement. So he subscribed to us. For all we know, he'll probably watch this at some point. So hey, Royston, thanks. Good stuff, man. The data is very discriminating. Okay, CC Cosplay says they're very much new here. Has recommended your channel. I was wondering if there are days that seem like years for most of your headmates if you forgot when not fronting. Yes, time is a totally flexible thing. We're actually going to do an episode specifically dealing with time and the way that systems perceive it, because we have a unique perspective being trauma locked and encoded. Literally, we're living time capsules. So yeah, that's all we're going to do on that. But yes, that is a subject that we have both experienced and we are going to cover in the future once we find as much research on it as data can, because we don't like to go off half cocked with just an idea for you guys. We like to give you actual information to at least chew on, if not to back it up. So yeah, cosplay, yeah, absolutely. Time is very flexible for us. Okay, weirdly, our dreams are very vivid, but our waking mind's eye isn't. That might be right up our alley. Rice, that's a very curious that's a very curious comment, because we think that actually one of the first signs that we were a system, but we didn't realize it, is that all through our lives we have had a series of very intense, what we thought were dreams, which we now know were in fact the submerged trauma memories starting to come out. In fact, we've had one, or well, two, okay, three recurring really bad nightmares that we now know why and how they fit in, and we strongly suspect on several others. So yeah, you'd be surprised what your brain, even when you don't know about it, is trying to clear out. That's the amygdala at work. So yeah. Okay, Hannah Banana's going to go and get some sleep. 1 a.m. is a bit late. Oh, Lord, have we been here that long? Yeah. Sorry, guys. They've been up and moving all day. Okay, thank you so much for sitting and streaming. And Kratz, thank you. Thank you very much for sitting here with us and sharing it, Hannah. We appreciate it. Don't be a stranger. Drop us comments and whatnot. Feel free to come into the streams. Stacked Inner World is a bit nebulous, but definitely serves a purpose. Things that happen in there can change how alters are when they front. It's super interesting. Yeah, Headspace is really an untapped world. Actually, we are going to do one of the informative episodes on the Headspace, because Data found some research that might indicate the origin of the Headspace and where exactly in the brain it comes from, and the part of the brain responsible for that. So yeah, another thing that's up and coming. Okay, story routine. Night Hannah. Yeah, say that the Royston, Royston, I think, Hilts. No, Tilts, Royston Tilts. Yeah, just we'll drop it in the description of the live stream afterwards. No, Data. It's Data, and no, it's not the Star Trek. We don't have any fictionals like that. It's just a description of his job. It's not that he's cutthroat. That would be Bootstraps. Um, in a way, actually more memey, to be honest. But yeah, he's very straight to the point, because things are very binary to him. It's either a fact or it isn't. It's either a fact or a supposition or a hypothesis, and one is the truth, the other isn't, and the other is entertaining to think about. That's the way he thinks. He's the recorder and the central clearinghouse, as it was. So yeah, but thank you. Yeah, he'll appreciate that when he comes back up. Recurring stress dreams and nightmares. Jux is saying use melatonin and skull tap tea to help. Be careful with the skull tap. We've got some herbal experience, and that stuff can be a toxin. But I'm sure you probably already know that if you're taking it. Melatonin never worked for us. There you go. Okay, Daft has got the proper spelling. Talking more about aphantasia. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was the first time we'd heard about it because we visualize vividly and always have. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Okay, look, hey, wow, we actually caught up on all the comments. All right. Well, we've been on for like basically exactly 2 hours here in another 10 seconds. So, guys, thank you for sitting in. We're going to go ahead and call it quits and go and get some sleep. Thanks for being here and sharing, us rambling on about everything and just supporting the channel and, listening to us be prideful about our son who graduated today. And as always, we want to remind you guys, you're loved, you're strong, and you're not alone. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Look for us this weekend. We'll have that episode coming to you probably Saturday, maybe Sunday. It depends. We still have to film it. Data just literally got done graphing it all out. So next, I get to film. So anyway, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you very much. We're gonna get see if there's any last things here. Couple things. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and read these because otherwise we'll get set back in. Okay, but everybody, thank you very much. Thank you for all the new people who came out to say hi. Hope to see you around the channel, and we will catch you on the flip side, guys. Bye now. Have a good night. Naomi, stay safe. Now, how do we end this thing? I guess the X. Are you sure you want to stop streaming?